All right, what's up everybody? So here's what we got for today's video. We've had some folks coming in, taking a look at a Audi Q7 that we've had out here for sale for just a little while. Now, the Audi Q7 that we're looking at, we got the key to it right now, is a 2014 model right here. It's a beautiful vehicle. You know, I actually kind of am a fan of the Audi Q7 since I used to work at an Audi dealership many years ago when they sold these. It's a really nice vehicle. Now, on top of that, this particular one has got a lot of nice features on it. It's a premium plus package car, so it's got like all the bells and whistles that you would love to have on a full-size, or not a full-size, but a mid-size SUV. Now, here is the catch, okay? I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Let me show you the outside, then we're gonna show you the inside, and then I'm gonna tell you what exactly is going on and maybe what can help you to get a car like this year. So there it is, the Audi Q7. Now I need you to understand a few things. People see this car online on our website or on wherever they're seeing it at, or even just driving by, and they're like, wow, it's an Audi Q7, I love the look of it, and I want it, right? Oh yeah. Then I tell you the price, that it's only $13,900, and then, oh my goodness, things are even getting better, right? Holy moly, it's only $13,900, $14,000 for this Audi Q7? Yeah. So you're like, at that point, you're like, man, that is a really good deal. So what's going on here, right? Because this car, when it was probably sold back in 2014 as a new vehicle, this is probably a $60,000, $70,000 or more vehicle. Well, I'll tell you, and it's not necessarily something wrong, but it's got a lot of mileage on it, okay? Take a look. Right there, it's got 142,225. So 142,000 miles on a 2014, 13,900, 14 grand, I guess is about the right price to pay at a used car lot for a vehicle like this. All right, come on. Now, let's talk about a few other things. Let's go ahead and crank her up for just a minute. Now, here is really why I'm doing this video, because I do want to sell somebody this car. Of course I do. But the person that buys this vehicle has got to be just the right person. You say, well, what does that mean, Chad? Well, let me explain. If you have a decent credit score, you might be the right person. You don't have to have the best credit score, but you gotta have something to give us something to work with, right? You can't have a credit score that is 480, 500, right? You need a credit score probably 600 and up. Now, it is possible to get the deal done with someone with a 550 to 600 beacon score, but it's a bit more difficult. Now, here's what you got to understand. Even though the car is only around $13,900, and to a lot of people that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, the bank is going to look at it and go, okay, how much money down is this person bringing to the table for this vehicle? Because here's what we got to look at the end of the day, especially if you don't have the best credit, right? If this Audi Q7 happens to break down and you can't afford to fix it, what happens? Well, I'll tell you what happens. A lot of people, and I'm talking about a lot of people, a lot of the times is going to take this car and give it back to the car dealership, and they might think that that's just giving the car back and I'm not paying the payments because it's broken and I can't afford to fix it. But let me tell you, that is a repossession. We've been diving in on this subject a little bit over the last month or so because I continue to get more and more people calling or stopping by saying, hey, I gave my car back because it was broke down. And they don't think it's a repossession. It absolutely is. I had a person actually interested in buying this vehicle right here and had that situation happen to them, you know? They had a vehicle before that they had financed, and it was a expensive vehicle to fix. It broke down, and the person gave it back to the dealership, and now the person has a repossession on their credit, and that person seems to think that they can buy this car, and yeah, they think they can. Well, unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work. We couldn't get the guy approved. Why is that, you may say? Well, that's because his credit score was under 500, and even though he may have had several thousand to put down, there's just not a whole lot of finance companies that I work with to do a deal like that. And especially on a car like this. I told the fella, hey man, if you want to look at something that is, you know, in the price range of $10 to $12 to $13,000, that's fine, with $3,000 to $4,000 down, but you can't be looking at an Audi Q7. You need to be looking at something different. And in his situation, in reality, he's got like 6 kids. He really needs to be looking at a Suburban, a minivan, something like that. But anyways, who am I to tell somebody what they can buy? All I can do is say, look, I can't get you approved on the loan. You're gonna have to go somewhere else to get a car, or you're gonna have to adjust your logic on what type of vehicle you're wanting to buy, or just pay cash for the car if that's what you really want. But anyways, folks, all I'm getting at here is pay very close attention. I understand you want the Audi Q7, you want the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, you want the 7 Series BMW, you want the finer things in life. But what we call it in most cases is you are, what is it? That person is on champagne with a beer budget. They want champagne, but they're on a beer budget, okay? And unfortunately, that's just the way the world seems to be working nowadays. Everybody wants the better things, the best things, the things that look super nice, but they aren't really on that level just yet. Get your priorities straight, folks. Understand where you're at and try to make adjustments. You can get the champagne, of course you can, but pay attention and do the right moves to get the champagne, to get the S-Class, to get the 7 Series, to get the Q7, the A8, those cars. You can do it, but you got to take things and move in the right direction and take your time on getting there. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Sometimes it can happen overnight, but once you start doing this thing here where you're turning cars back in and getting repossessions on your record, and you end up owing all this money on a car, and it's looking horrible on your credit, and it's dropped your score down, believe me folks, you're just not going to be able to go to a car dealership and get financing. I'm telling you, to get a loan done legitimately through a financial company, you're just not going to be able to do it. Anyways, that's it for me today. As I told that young man on the phone today with 6 to 7 children, however many he has, at the age of under 30 years old, my goodness, he's a busy boy. Let me tell you, as I told him, unfortunately, his best case scenario right now is going to a buy here, pay here car lot. I preach and say, hey, slow down. You might not want to go to a buy here, pay here car lot, but in some cases, some people, that's the only option. And I'm going to do a video talking about that here shortly. So stay with us on Charleston Car videos. We got all kinds of stuff going on, and I'm switching things up a little bit. We're still doing car reviews, but we're going to do a little bit different stuff on the channel, talking about stories and maybe even pushing some advice out there for you, so hopefully you can make a good decision. See you soon.